self-order kiosk is a large touchscreen device physically in a restaurant or store for customers to interact with, like the ones you get in McDonald's. Nowadays, different kinds of kiosks are quite common. There's self-checkouts, obviously. There are informational kiosks placed in shops next to expensive product ranges. There's check-in and check-out kiosks in some hotels. And there's many more. But can they work for ordering in restaurants? In our new guide, we ask some of the top voices in the industry and look at what's changed to make kiosks more accessible for merchants beyond McDonald's. Download the guide in the description of this video, or keep watching to see answers to our biggest questions on kiosks. Number 1. Aren't kiosks expensive? A kiosk might once have cost £30,000, but that's no longer the case. That was when you needed bespoke hardware for the kiosk. Now, you can build a kiosk for less than £1,000 by making it out of generic hardware such as an iPad core, in much the same way you can with tills nowadays. The most secure way to keep iPads is to embed them in a secure stand to minimise theft risk, and you can pick those up for a few £100s. Number 2. Do kiosks make people spend more? One of our guide contributors, Curve Kiosks, has produced some interesting research that shows, on average, people prefer self-checkouts to cashiers. That's been borne out by the behavioural data. People do seem to spend more with a kiosk than they would ordering from a human. In one experiment, McDonald's found that people who used their kiosks spent up to 30% more, as they were more likely to supersize their meal. Taco Bell said that orders via their digital app are 20% higher than face-to-face orders. The American-Mexican chain, Chili's, claimed that dessert spending was much higher with their kiosk solutions. So it looks like the answer is yes, and in a predictable way. People will choose their main as normal, but they're more likely to add a dessert or side or an expensive modifier, like supersizing their meal. Number 3. Are touchscreen kiosks a COVID risk? I want to acknowledge that these videos go out globally and that different countries have different levels of risk, as their curves look different. The short answer is yes, touching screens is a risk, but so is going to a restaurant in the first place. Our understanding of the virus has moved from believing that it spread mostly via touch and surfaces to understanding that it spreads the most by breathing air in close quarters with each other. That said, it's important to be vigilant. If you have table-based kiosks, it's easy to wipe them down after every use, reducing the risk. Where you have a kiosk to serve a standing queue of people, we've seen restaurants provide hand sanitizer for hand washing before and after kiosk use. There's also alternatives you consider which are more COVID secure. Number 4, what are my alternatives? The biggest alternative to a kiosk is a mobile ordering system. You're likely to have seen them about now. By scanning a QR code, you can access a menu on your phone and order food and drinks. And while kiosks might have some experiential benefits, QR code menus require zero upfront investment because the screen is the user's mobile rather than iPads that you have to buy. Obviously, these work great for pubs and they also work well for fast dining restaurants. When they're done right, these can boost the throughput of restaurants as well as increasing customer spends. We have our own system, StoreKit Order and Pay, available as part of StoreKit's range of payments products. Our system is designed to be usable by patrons of all ages and abilities and to actively boost spending. You can read more about it in the link below, or you can check out the menu of our customer, Mange 2. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe to see more videos like this, or give it a like to make it more visible.